All right. Hi, everyone. For my personal contribution project for our course, I wanted to tap into local resources for cancer patients and survivors. And I had to look no further than a fellow coworker, Barbara Jackson. She goes by Babs, and she is an occupational therapist, a certified lymphedema therapist, and a yoga instructor, just to name a few things that she does. And Babs develops and runs a wellness program incorporating yoga for cancer patients and survivors. And I thought that we would just chat for a few minutes with her and her mom, Tina, who is a breast cancer survivor. So thank you, ladies, for joining me and being a part of this project. And Babs, I just wanted to know, how did you come up with the idea for this group, and what is or was your inspiration?
So she's here in the Zoom. So my mom, maybe Mom, do you want to tell a little bit about yourself, so then about your history, and then I'll.
Sure. Okay. So in 06, December 8th, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was in my left breast, and it was triple negative, stage 2. And I opted for a double mastectomy in January of 07. I did a double mastectomy because they came as a pair, they went as a pair. It was just my personal choice. The cancer was only in one breast. Followed by 3 or 4 months of chemo, adriamycin, Cytoxan, and Taxol, followed by 5-6 weeks of radiation throughout the summer. And that was 15 years ago. So I did well. 3 years out, I developed lymphedema, had no idea what it was. And so was treated in and out of PT for that. And then that's where Babs, a few years ago, decided that she saw how I suffered and the hard times I had. And then you can jump in there, Babs, if you want.
Sure. Pass it down.
Exactly.
Yeah, so she was experiencing lymphedema for a while, and she wasn't really getting better. She was kind of up and down with it. And then so I found out about the training. So I became a lymphedema certified therapist. And then I treated her for a while, and she got much better. And I've been practicing yoga since college. So I always loved practicing for myself and for my own benefit. But then I always would try to get my mom to practice with me, and she would do a little here and there. Like she does the little stretch when she's in the shower. I know that was kind of the first implementing it slowly. Yeah. So, and then she started practicing, and then so she saw the benefits and saw the healing properties and everything for it. So then I was like, if my mom gets so much benefit when she's been through this, how about my patients? And then so I created, it's a 6-week yoga wellness program with breathing techniques, with meditation techniques, self-care techniques, all of these different tools that we meet once a week on Zoom for 90 minutes. And it's a group full of, right now it's 15 to 16 people, and it's an awesome group. It's such a, I don't know, Mom, what are your feelings about it?
It's a community. It's I've been out 15 years. I remember when I was diagnosed and I had friends that were out 5 years, 10 years. They were like legends to me. To know someone that is alive 15 years later is an inspiration. It was to me, I think it is to them.
Yeah.
When you're part of this group, all you want to do is help someone. I find it comforting to help people in a one-on-one versus a big arena. That's not really my comfort level. I think that another friend of mine, Barbara Barron, who Babs also treated, is out. She was diagnosed 6 months after me. And she's also found great comfort in Babsy's yoga classes. You know, when you Zoom, you can do as little or as much as you want. No one sees you. So if you fall over, no one knows. And if you don't do things quite right. And Babs adapts in so many ways that everybody can do something, you know, and it's a community. I think that we have that half an hour of conversation before we start our stretching and the whole yoga routine. And there's something to be learned
Yeah.
by one or all. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just a wonderful, again, community is what we're all calling it.
And that's what
It's
I think.
very helpful.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to kind of showcase this a little bit, because as clinicians, we're so focused on the research and validity of tests and very objective things, which is super important to our practice. But I wanted to also tap into what else people really might benefit from, that maybe isn't always validated in research, like a yoga or like a meditation. And like you said, I think that sense of community for patients and survivors is really important. So I'm so grateful that you're doing it, and you're doing it locally to help our network of patients.
So there's a spectrum of participants. So some have been diagnosed 6 months ago, a year ago, to have been survivors like my mom for multiple years. So it's really neat to see all of their different stories. And like my mom said, they really feed off one another. And a lot of them has said it's something that they wish they would have had to get them through the times when they were going through chemotherapy or radiation or a new diagnosis of lymphedema, or just to have that kind of like, hey, I've been there, do this. And I feel like it's very powerful. And I think, like you're saying, because I'm an occupational therapist and treat in the clinic, we do go by that very strict kind of protocol, like mind, but I know we've talked about it, whereas it's so helpful to really look at the full body, the full person. And one of the participants in the group, she said during her cancer treatments, she felt like she was always trying to escape her body. So she didn't want to be a part of this, because it was the doctors and all of the medical care was treating her body necessarily, but she didn't want to be a part of it. She kind of wanted to distance herself. And she said for the first time now, she feels like she wants to be home. She wants to be home in her body and really wants to experience what it's like to feel the feelings. And that, I thought that was kind of cool, because that's not any data I could write down. That's kind of more qualitative, and it's just her experience that now she's feeling comfort, and in comfort is the healing. So it's
and that, I was gonna say, and that's a big part of healing, right? So that's huge for that person to be able to get to that point. Anything else? I really want to, actually let this group know how their patients can access your services and your resources on YouTube, because I know you have a channel there, and we can subscribe to it. So even, is that allowed? Can we give them that info so that if they even wanted to use your YouTube station channel as a resource, they could?
Yeah, and I hope the group does use me as a resource. And if all the videos are free, and I want this all to be free, and I want everyone to learn these breathing techniques and the course, but YouTube, it's Balance with Babs Yoga.
Babs Yoga.
Balance with
I'll
Babs.
put it on the little Facebook page so that everybody has it.
And then feel free, they can also email me, which we can also put on there.
Okay.
But just to, even for the group members themselves, to try these techniques, try different breathing techniques, and then bring it to your patients, and just don't be afraid to kind of step outside the clinical box of what to do, and you'll find that it really is rewarding and helpful.
Awesome.
Yes, very rewarding. Yeah, very helpful to all of us. Really has. And I'm doing yoga all the time. Crazy. I can't even believe it.
We all could use some yoga, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you again, both Tina, for jumping on this call, and Babs, I know we've chatted, but I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of, like I said, showcase what other resources maybe we could tap into as a group to help our patients kind of optimally promote their healing and their journey. So
yeah, my pleasure. Anytime. I'm so happy to share. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.